Hello there, Reject Nation. I'm Greg Alba.
I'm John Humphrey.
We are wearing white today.
Very white.
It looks like I got a bald spot on camera here.
Looks like I have a very large forehead.
Top reward tier video request comes from the channel Mind Boggler. Ooh. The request comes from a man named Jason Dolan, who's actually just a really close friend of ours, and we even watched the movie Us together.
And we take his money.
Yeah, easily. Or else you're not our friend anymore,
Nope.
Jason. I tell everyone at Patreon, feel free to lower your pledge if it causes you financial troubles. But Jason, that rule does not apply to you. Our whole friendship is based off that. Very conditional kind of friendship. 10 scientifically impossible places that actually exist. This is very in tune with the channel. Thank you, Jason, for requesting this. This is the kind of thing we always wanted to branch out and talk about. We're called the Real Rejects because we don't want to talk about films or shows.
We want to talk about what's real.
We want to talk about scientifically impossible places. Let's get into this.
Ooh, so many different subjects.
Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
Okay.
The 7 wonders of the natural world may have been named too quickly. Wonders like the Grand Canyon and Victoria Falls are certainly big, and anyone who sees them will surely be impressed.
She's looking at something
but sheer
big.
size isn't enough to truly leave a person in awe.
Oh yeah,
there are
it is.
other places in this world, though, that are far stranger. Places that seem almost alien, as if they could only exist on a planet that evolved separately from
what?
our own.
Whoa.
That's not real.
These are places that can't be. Struggle just to understand how they ever could have been formed. Places that will truly make you wonder, not just because they're beautiful, but because they seem to follow scientific laws that don't exist anywhere else on Earth.
Ooh.
Number 10, Devil's Kettle.
What?
As far as natural mysteries go, the Devil's Kettle in Minnesota is one of the most intriguing ones. At a particular point along the Brule River, the river's water splits into two. One split continues its course onto the Lake Superior, and the other split, well, we have no clue where it goes. Scientists know
no one's
it has
ever
to end
tried
up somewhere, but we don't know where that is.
You can't send like a tracker?
Scientists first tried putting dye
Or
into
a
the
monkey.
kettle and waited to see which part of the lake turns
Yeah.
up colors.
There you go.
It was a futile effort. Nothing turned up. Next, they decided to try it with ping pong balls.
Send a
They
drone in
also
there.
vanished without a trace.
Drone.
What the hell is
Or a
going on?
GoPro.
We all know that laws of science dictate that the water has to turn up somewhere.
Oh,
Even
passengers.
if it is being stored underground, there should be markings, and it should be traceable. Aliens, parallel universe, glitch in our programming, some Mayan trick? Your guess is as good as mine.
Or just lead
Number
somewhere
9,
else.
Hessdalen lights. Residents of Hessdalen Valley, Norway, are continually living in a realm of great scientific mystery.
Okay.
Almost
Beautiful
every
shot.
night, lights appear in the sky. They are of bright colors. They dance around,
Yes.
shift shapes, flash unmistakably, and disappear,
Okay.
only to appear the next day during the night. This has been going on for 4 decades at least. Scientists are perplexed by this mystery. There are theories, though, but none seems to be good enough. Since at least the early 1930s, people have spotted the lights and hypothesized what could be causing them. One theory suggests that the lake is radioactive. The radon rides dust particles, and upon elevations, it decays and produces lights. Another theory suggests
makes the
that
most
the
sense
base
to
of the
me.
valley is full of sulfuric acid. Sulfur reacts to the water and produces what scientists call sparks. Hundreds of tests have been performed to pinpoint the exact cause, but to no avail. Number 8.
Kid with a
Movile
laser
Cave.
pointer.
In southeastern Romania, there is a cave that was locked away from the slightest ray of light for 5.5 million years.
Wow.
And that has a completely different atmosphere from the Earth. The cave was discovered by workers looking to set up a power plant. They tested the ground to see if it was a safe place to build, and cracked open a pathway that leads into one of the strangest places on Earth. If you descend through the narrow shaft and past a series of tunnels, you enter a chamber with a lake of sulfuric water stinking of rotten eggs. The air there is toxic, filled with hydrogen sulfide, and contaminated with 100 times the surface's level of carbon dioxide.
Woof.
The strangest part, though, is that a whole ecosystem has survived inside it. Researchers have found 33 species inside the cave
Ooh.
that don't exist anywhere outside
Wow.
of it. They've adapted to survive in a sulfuric atmosphere, living by feeding off a foam on top of the stones.
When's the movie
Number
coming?
7. Lake Karachay. The Soviet Union had many nuclear facilities,
Fucking
and most of them
Soviet
were
Union.
ill-planned and unsafe. Inside one such factory, there is a lake. The lake's water has more radioactive material than anywhere else on Earth. Lake Karachay is so radioactive that you will
put your
die
hand
within
in
an hour if you stand near it. Soviets
Stand
dumped
near
nuclear
it?
waste into the lake.
Wow.
Their nuclear practices have caused a few problems with the lake in the past. In 1957, an explosion blew the factory apart, and the radioactive particles spread more than 23,000 kilometers.
Wow.
The area is more radioactive
that's
than
bad.
Chernobyl.
Oh,
The lake
man.
has been covered with concrete to keep these disasters from happening. Still, the entire place is eerily unstable and massively radioactive.
Damn, it's like
Number
sci-fi
6,
shit right there.
The double
Yeah.
tree of Casorzo. In the countryside of Piemonte, Italy,
That's beautiful.
there is an unusual sight.
Aquaman.
There is a cherry tree there that looks, in most respects, just like any other healthy cherry tree, except that it happens to be growing directly on top of a mulberry tree. This isn't completely unprecedented. Parasitic trees have grown out of others before, but normally they are small, stunted things that live short lives before falling off. The double tree of Casorzo, though, consists of 2 fully formed, healthy trees, each spreading its branches 5 meters across. Nobody quite knows how it happened. The locals believe that a bird may have dropped a cherry seed on top of the mulberry tree. The seed grew roots that
Hellboy!
pushed through the
Yeah.
mulberry tree's hollow trunk and reached all the way to the soil below, letting it survive and grow into a full, healthy tree.
I think a bird might have dropped a cherry seed on the top of the tree and let that mama
The
have
city of
it.
Kalachi, Kazakhstan is not Disney's creation. It is as real as it gets.
What?
Citizens of Kalachi
I don't know,
face a
apparently
very
Disney did some
peculiar
Siberia thing.
People
Oh, Disney
just
have created
collapse
a city
into
in
naps
Kazakhstan.
randomly, even while
What?
walking on the road.
What
They
the
also
fuck?
report memory loss, fatigue, and hallucinations.
That is
Ooh.
The
crazy.
epidemic affects people from all genders and ages. Kazakhstan has even recommended evacuations.
It's all
but
placebo.
they are no closer to solving the problem. One theory suggests that the residents are facing some kind of radiation poisoning, since the area is near a uranium mine. However, there are flaws in that theory. All the blood tests and other monitoring has turned up zero evidence. Secondly, there is a town which is closer to the mine than Kalachi, and they have reported no such epidemic. Number 4.
Weird.
Circles
Be a
of
great
Namibia.
place to catch up on some
There is
sleep.
an
Oh, yeah.
ecological mystery
Yeah.
sitting throughout
No
Namibian
choice.
deserts. There are fields of grass with circles carved in them at regular intervals. The circles are almost perfectly created and can range from 10 to 65 feet in diameter. And by the way, if you are thinking of the movie The Signs, you are not alone.
It's actually
was.
called
Forget explaining the
Signs.
circles. Scientists are not even sure of the more basic questions, such as, why are there circles? Why not any random shape? Nothing grows in these circle patches. Scientists have come up with various theories, and all have been debunked almost immediately. In 2013, Norbert Jurgens, an environmental scientist, said that termites were the cause of the circles. But in 2015, biologist Walter Schinkel tested the hypothesis and disproved it. Number 3. The hum of Taos. A barely audible buzzing sound that you cannot pinpoint can infuriate you. We have all been there when a distant lawnmower or our TV starts making a buzz, and unless and until we don't find where it's coming from, it feels like our brain is eating itself from the inside. Now imagine the pain and frustration of residents of Taos in New Mexico. Since the early 1990s, large numbers of residents of Taos have complained about a constant humming sound. It can be heard all around the town and has driven people nuts. For 20 years,
That's the movie
various
I wanna
investigators have tried to locate the hum,
The hum.
but to no success.
Ooh, that's
Some
a good title.
scientists have hypothesized that the town's residents are super hearers who can detect sound that ordinary humans can't. But doesn't that raise more questions than it answers?
Sure.
Number
I'm
2.
sure you just gotta find whatever
Never-ending
the
lightning.
source of it is.
In western Venezuela, over the Catatumbo River, there is a
Someone
storm
forgot to unplug
that
his
never
vacuum cleaner.
ceases. There's
a whole bunch of refrigerators back here.
Lightning crashes over the water for 10 hours every night, 260 nights each year. Nobody knows for sure why it happens.
That's the
Up until
majority
recently,
of the
the
year.
leading theory
Wow.
was that it had something to do with uranium in the bedrock, although scientists are
Damn
starting
uranium.
to doubt it. Today, the leading theory is a complicated one. It posits that the shape of the mountains cause warm trade winds to collide with cold air from the Andes. That collision is then fueled by the rapidly evaporating water below and methane from a nearby oil field. Nobody actually knows for sure, though, why it happens.
Especially not this
Everything about it is mysterious, including one moment in 2010 when it inexplicably stopped. One day, the storm just died down without explanation and seemed for a while to be over.
Damn.
Then, after 6 weeks of silence, it sparked up again and has been raging ever since. Number one,
That would be
the
kind of a
Boiling River.
cool sight to behold,
Deep
though,
in
huh?
the Amazon
From
lies a
afar.
river 4 miles
Yeah.
long and unlike any other on Earth. The Shenandoah Timpishka is so hot that any animal that steps into it gets boiled alive. When a hapless creature
yeah.
wanders in, the eyes cook first, melting in its skull. Soon the animal is in too much pain to keep swimming to safety. Water fills its mouth and lungs, and it is cooked from the inside out.
Oh,
The river
God.
gets as hot as 91 degrees Celsius, 196 degrees Fahrenheit, and scientists aren't completely sure why. Normally, water that gets this hot is fed by a volcano, but this one is 700 kilometers removed from the nearest one. There is a theory, though. Scientists believe that boiling hot water from under the earth cracks through fault lines and heats up the river, making the water a geothermal system unlike any other on Earth. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow. So many terrible sci-fi movies are ready to be made from all these ideas.
Oh yeah, man! Get a boiling river movie. Get a lightning storms movie. Get
All the movies are, all these things create some creature come out.
Yeah, yeah.
Human who goes in the boiling river and comes out.
Yeah, that's the mystery. Is these are all secretly kaiju.
Right?
Kaiju inside of that cave that was sealed up for many, many years. There's a kaiju making these lights in the sky. It's all explainable via Japanese monster movies.
Oh, I wonder who these scientists are that commit themselves to figuring out these things.
That's the kind of science I would want to study if I was a scientist. I would want to find the most unexplainable things on Earth and just be like, I'm going to take a crack at this, because if I'm the one who cracks it, I mean, how cool is that going to be? If I figure out what's inside this weird what do they call it? This panhandle thing.
Of the rivers?
Yeah, with the two split rivers.
And
where-
why not just send a drone in there?
That's one piece of information I would have liked from this video, is it seems like you could just send a camera with some kind of tracking device down there,
Yeah.
see what's there, and also geolocate what's there.
Yeah. Do they need to find out, though?
I don't know.
Some of these I'm like, do we really need to know? Do we need to dedicate ourselves to finding this? Especially the river one. Just don't go down that river.
What if it just seeps out on the other side of the barrier between it and the
That's
other
what I
half
was
of the river?
thinking too, you know?
What if it just goes into this basin and then out the other side somewhere, like in mini golf?
The one with the cherry tree growing on top of, what was the other kind of tree?
Mulberry tree?
Yeah. Sounds dedicating their life to try to figure out what's going on with the street.
Someone who's got time, perhaps got stationed in a very rural area.
Some of these, I hear the theories, and they're like, oh, but it's been disproved, or we don't know for sure. Sometimes I'm just like, sure, just let it be. It's one, unless there's some weird epidemic where your trees are forming some type of hybrid, that fucking tree's growing oranges. What the hell, you know?
Well, see, these are the kinds of things that make me want to believe in some kind of really sentient higher power. It's just sitting around going, I'm going to mess with these guys right now. Check this out. You know a tree? Yeah. All right, I'm going to put another one just right on top. But God, that looks so stupid. But no, it's going to blow their minds.
People are going to
watch.
flip out and be trying to figure this out for decades to come now.
It is a fascinating sight to see, because it is just blatantly one tree growing out of the top of another tree.
The one that really fascinated me was the sleeping, maybe because I'm drawn to sleep.
Yeah.
The sleeping city of Kalachi.
Sleep all the time.
That's bizarre. People just falling asleep. Like they go in here.
Like a narcolepsy epidemic.
Yeah, that's scary.
I mean, all of these would be fascinating to know the reasoning for, but that's one where, especially if I lived anywhere near there, I'd be like, please tell us what's going on.
Yeah, rent must be really cheap there.
Yeah.
Half these place. Imagine the rent where the lightning showers are.
Oh, buddy.
They said, I think it was like 2/3 of the year.
Yeah, they said it was like 260 odd days or something like that,
Damn.
right? Which is insane to me, and that it should stop for a few weeks just at random. Like that's fascinating to me because that seems like true large-scale chemistry almost. It seems like there just must be the right combination of factors contributing to the atmosphere around that area that are just leading to this happening. Or
I
whatever.
mean, with the footage, it looks like people live around here.
I know.
Why would you live there?
Maybe there's like
Rent is $50 a month. Why is it so
fact-
cheap? We got lightning storms most of the year. That's
we'll pay you to live here.
We'll take the risk of getting struck by lightning most of the year.
Either
Jesus.
this or someplace radioactive.
The boiling river. That sounds. I mean, he paid this. The person who has this channel painted quite a devastating picture of what happens to animals who just get curious.
Yeah, that sounds awful and horrifying. I've actually read about this place before, but to like actually see moving images of it. Ugh.
Be a great way to kill someone.
Yeah, because they'd be virtually unrecognizable after, right? You just toss them in and they're like
They just
boiled up.
melt, right?
What would happen to their teeth? That's the thing, is you'd have to... If their teeth remain intact and their skeleton remains intact, then you might still be screwed.
But if you need to get rid of a body, take them to the boiling river.
Eh?
No one's gonna go down there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like I mean, you're gonna really have to pull out some big machinery to go scourge that lake.
I want to go to the Hum City. But I know what's not been unplugged yet.
Solve a whole town's problems just by poking around, unplugging
Have
things.
you guys ever thought about just turning the power off in the city for a day?
Okay.
See if it's still there.
Citywide ordinance at 5 p.m. on this day, we all unplug all of our belongings and then plug them back in one at a time. And if the hum comes back, we know whose it is. You know what you do? You just take people who have gone deaf to that frequency and relocate them all to that town.
The holes in the ground.
Or yeah, these like strange circles. Must be a hard place to go if you have that fear of circles.
I just have a hard time putting myself in the mindset of the person who, if you live there and these start to form, I can understand the, like, what is going on here? This is scaring me. This is unknown, damn it. I don't know.
I must dedicate my life to science to figure it out.
But if you're someone who, like, stumbles across this information, you're like, I want to know why. You're like,
This
why
is
are,
my time.
Why are you dedicating yourself to this? It seems kind of silly. Let the termite theory just stand. Who cares?
Nah, man, there are enough people curing cancer, but you could break ground solving a world mystery.
You know, because the title 10 scientifically impossible. I thought we were going to see some, cultures or,
Yeah.
know,
Like lost city of some kind.
yeah, something like that. Like, oh shit, we went underwater. There were buildings there, you know? and just
Here's
standing.
an entire cannibal society.
Yeah,
Like,
something like that. I thought that's what we were going to look at. Apparently, there's just half of these are things that people just dedicate themselves to for silly ass things. But then there are half of them that I'm like, that's pretty terrifying. Lightning City, I'd like to go there. I'd love to just drive through there.
during.
Yeah.
See how many bolts you can dodge.
I'm sure that's the place where you can figure out how to time travel. One of those.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, right?
Yeah, you gotta do Marty McFly and the Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, just put that big antenna rod thing on the back of your car, and
Some
yeah,
Alan Silvestri music going.
just gotta make sure you can get up to 88. But that's all.
And that's all you need to get to.
Yeah, let the lightning do the rest.
Well, thanks, Jason. This is a weird video.
Fascinating though.
You like to mix it up, don't you, buddy?
Yeah.
What more can I say in your shout out, dude? You're Jason Dolan.
JD.
I just texted you this morning. We're friends. You don't need a shout out.
At this point, you're just being greedy.
Yeah, man.
Let somebody
Cut
else
it
have
out.
one.
Thanks for the camera we're filming on.
And thanks for cuddling with me during us. It really made me feel safe.
I was right about the cinema score.
Yeah.
I know audience. I know people better than you ever will. Good luck being a writer, Jason. Bitch. Guys, you can subscribe to Mr. Marble Nuts. What's this guy's called again? Mind Boggler. Mind Boggler.
Mr. Marble Nuts.
I don't know where I got that from. You can subscribe to Mind Boggler. Check out this video. Give it a like. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.